Tonight we have an update on a story we've been covering for nearly a year.
You may remember Robin Mobley, a Trotwood resident who had a property stolen through a quitclaim deed. On Tuesday, she sat down with Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims to talk about how to stop these scams. So I know, Lydia, you have been following this story for us from the very get-go. And Lydia, what is the city and county actually doing to prevent this from happening to other people?
That's right. So back in December, I did a story on the Montgomery County Recorder's Office launching their Exposing Deed Fraud initiative. Now, we wanted to check back in with them, and the recorder told me that since the story last aired, 4,000 Montgomery County residents signed up to protect themselves and their property.
That's a lot of people. So how do these scams even work?
Well, let me give you an example. So imagine a scammer notices a property sitting vacant. And assuming no one wants it, they create a fraudulent quitclaim deed and forge the owner's signature. Now, a lot of times, even the notary on that document is a scam, and that is exactly what happened to Robin Mobley.
So basically, there were some arrangements made for someone to purchase my property. Within that time, I had left for just a little bit to go out of town, and he went downtown and filed a fraudulent deed.
Now, situations like this are why the initiative was created, and this system alerts you if a document is recorded on your property, whether you did it or someone else did. You can sign up for this initiative in person at the recorder's office on the 5th floor of the county building, or head to our website, Dayton247now.com, where I've posted the
tech monetize our children's privacy and jeopardize their mental health.
Scientific research is inconclusive. The American Psychological Association notes using social media is not inherently beneficial or harmful to young people.
So that leads us to our question of the day today. We want to know, do you think social media is an environmental health toxin? You can share your opinion by voting at Dayton247now.com. Just click on the question of the day heading. It is in the news tab. And these are the results from yesterday's question of the day. We asked, do you trust elected officials to effectively deal with crime and the drug epidemic? Well, of more than 9,000 votes, only 4% said yes, 96% saying no. If you've been treating a cough, listen up. Robitussin is being recalled. Elise at the Now Desk, what should everybody know about this recall?
Adam, so right now it is just certain types of Robitussin cough syrups that are being recalled tonight. It's the Robitussin Honey CFX Max Day Adults and the Robitussin Honey CF Max Adult bottles that are affected by the recall. Now, the manufacturer says it's being recalled due to a microbial contamination. So if you have those cough medicines in your cabinet, throw them out immediately. Do not use them. At this point, there are no reports of anyone getting sick.
Paul Kraft, the new state superintendent, coming to Columbus from the Buckeye Valley School District, where he served as superintendent of schools. He's been on the job for about a month now, and he's got some serious issues to tackle. Stephanie Dupre getting insight on his first orders of business.
The new superintendent for Ohio State Board of Education, Paul Kraft, confident that the science of reading approach will boost low literacy numbers statewide. Ohio is part of the growing list of states to use this format that puts more focus on sounded out instruction and direct teaching of other skills like vocabulary.
From a phonics perspective. And I'm hopeful that as more and more of our schools roll out those approved phonics heavy curriculums K-3, we're going to see those literacy rates really start to improve.
Kraft also added that his office will handle teaching licenses and more. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Stephanie Dupre.
Montgomery County's 6th annual Fatherhood Summit held today at St. Clair College. The summit brings local organizations and the community together to share insight and strategies on supporting dads in our area. Today's event focused on local agencies that provide help to fathers around the county.
You will get a lot of information about health care, about, whether you're talking about child support, being able to see your kids. We have representatives from our public defender's office here, from a lot of, mental health services as well. And so again, we're really trying to support those service providers so that they can not only have information about how to help fathers, but also network with each other to be able to do that.
Newsom says if you are in need of any of these services, you can find everything on the county's website, mcohio.org.
Babies in the NICU at Dayton Children's now have some extra clothes, all thanks to our community. The clerk of court, Mike Foley, held a donation drive to collect onesies, sleepers, and bodysuits for babies. This year's drive is valued at $820.
It's nice to be able to have something that's very special, right? Parents might be here a long time with their babies, and so to be able to have special clothing certainly does make a difference just in the day-to-day positive feeling that parents may have as they're going through this long process.
This is the 5th year the Clerk of Courts has held the event. The money is raised by employees who pay $25 to wear jeans around the office.
The jury selection process has now begun in the murder trial for a former Franklin County deputy. We'll get an update from court. That's next.
The Cincinnati Bengals promoting an assistant coach within the organization who the franchise has named as the new offensive coordinator.
And more rain heading its way into the region. How much more we're expecting, that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
That's one way to get the snow down. It took just one poke for this man to get the hanging snow off the mall roof in Wisconsin. Check out the perfectly formed light pillars in northern Michigan. The effect is created when light is refracted and reflected by flat, tiny ice crystals in calm and cold conditions. The light usually comes from street lights, but any light can be a source.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
murder trial for a former Franklin County deputy is now officially underway. Jason Meade is charged with murder and reckless homicide in the death of Casey Goodson Jr. Steve Levine was at the courthouse as jury selection began.
Jury selection now underway here at the Franklin County Courthouse in Columbus in connection with the Jason Meade murder trial. He is the former Franklin County Sheriff deputy who was accused of shooting and killing Casey Goodson back in December 2020. 250 summonses were sent to prospective jurors. Today, the judge and attorneys meeting with people to determine if they have any scheduling conflicts in connection with this case, which is expected to last 2 weeks. A 12-member jury, 4 alternates expected to be selected on Monday. Opening statements set for Tuesday. In Columbus, I'm Steve Levine for Dayton 24/7.
All right, here's a live look from the first warning weather vehicle as it gets through some rain. Looks like it's coming down right now. Pretty foggy day as well. Let's see what's on tap for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, a lot of the fog clearing out for us now that we have rain moving in. Those winds are going to kick up a bit overnight too, which will help mix up that fog just a bit too. Here's a look at what's going on across the area though. Widespread rainfall has developed, mainly light to moderate rain making its way through. Does look like this is going to be with us through much of this evening as this heads off to the northeast, but we already have a system developing over the Four Corners that's going to ride its way back up into the area for the weekend, bringing us more rain and even a few snowflakes. So heading through the evening, we'll continue with some showers, indicating midnight, maybe mostly quiet other than some rain mainly off to the northwest. Temperature-wise, we'll drop into the 40s overnight, so it'll be a little chillier early tomorrow morning. Heading into our Friday, only getting into the 40s for the afternoon. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll see much sun. By Saturday, we start out the day in the 30s. Saturday afternoon, more rain developing, but as we get colder air and temperatures falling on the backside of the system, we will see the potential for some snowflakes Saturday night into our early Sunday morning. Not much in the way of accumulation, but we'll be watching that closely.
A story now from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal tonight. A Dayton nonprofit now has plans to add a $5 million facility to its massive grocery, healthcare, and housing project in West Dayton. Homeful wants to construct a 6,000 square foot child care facility to its campus on Gettysburg Avenue. In addition, plans to add a 5,000 square foot outdoor playground. Now, the Homeful Healthy Start Child Care and Preschool will have enough space for 90 students, create over a dozen new jobs. The organization broke ground on the project last year. And if you'd like to read more about it, you can go to Dayton247now.com. This story and others like it, you can find them under the Dayton Business Journal heading. That is in the News tab. So community leaders across the Miami Valley, they are joining together. They're continuing to join together to fight hunger in the area. The Super Bowl of Caring combines our campaign with several different organizations, including the House of Bread, Flock, or For Love of Children, as well as the Food Bank. You can donate. Just take your camera out, scan that QR code. It'll take you to a website, and it's easy from there to put in a dollar amount that you'd like to do to help fight child hunger. This donation drive ends February 12th.
Hello, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. Brian Callahan officially the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. That means the Cincinnati Bengals will have a new offensive coordinator for 2024. Dan Pitcher formally introduced Thursday. He's been with the team since 2016, and he mentioned how being in Cincinnati for almost a decade now has allowed him to become more comfortable with how everything works.
You find yourself a part of something that you believe in, and you're around really good people, and you love coming to work every day. You got to have a really good reason to leave that willingly. And so fortunately for me, the way things transpired, I didn't have to make that decision, and I get to stay here, and this has been ideal for me all along.
And the Bengals offense averaging 319 yards and better than 21 points a game in 2023, though that was a decrease from their average in both categories in 2022. And the cycle of NFL head coaches continues. Late Wednesday night, the Los Angeles Chargers announcing Jim Harbaugh is the new head coach. Harbaugh had been at Michigan since the 2015 season, but prior to that was the 49ers head coach. And that means the transfer portal reopens for Michigan players for 30 days. That includes Northmont grad Rod Moore, who originally said he was coming back to the Wolverines. The Bengals are scheduled to play at the Chargers next fall, but Harbaugh and his team will play at the Cleveland Browns. Thursday also marked the start of a new coaching era for the Dayton Dragons. Brian LaHare was manager for 2 seasons. He's now moved to a coaching job with the Reds AAA affiliate in Louisville. The Dragons will have a new man in the dugout this season. Vince Harrison Jr. brings a decade of experience managing and coaching in the minor leagues. He was most recently a coach with the Louisville Bats of AAA. Harrison from Princeton High School in Cincinnati, and he played both baseball and football at the University of Kentucky. His younger brother Josh and their uncle John Shelby have each played more than 10 seasons of Major League Baseball. For Vince Harrison, being the manager of a team so close to his hometown only adds to how ready he is for the season to start.
I was kind of looking forward to this day for a while, and to actually be talking baseball and be at a baseball field is just kind of enhance the excitement to be here. So we have to try to find a way to develop and create a good atmosphere, and I think those are the things I'm really excited about, is being able to have that impact.
And the Dragons open the 2024 season at home Friday, April 5th against the Lansing Lugnuts. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
Well, quite a difference this week from earlier this week to what we have out there for today, making it up to 57 degrees. Low temperature Monday morning was 14, so we've warmed up 43 degrees to 57 degrees today. But if you count this from last week when we had wind chills about 20 below zero, we have warmed up to what feeling like about 80 degrees warmer compared to last week. So big difference. Unfortunately, we got some colder air that'll make its way in. Some sunshine eventually in the forecast too, but we get back in the upper 30s, which is right around to even slightly above normal for this time of the year. And then eventually we'll see those highs back up into the lower 40s by next Wednesday and Thursday for us. But chillier weather, but not terribly cold as we head into next week.
An inclusive indoor play facility right here in the Miami Valley. A look at capabilities and its mission of every kid's right to have some fun.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, playing is one of the best things about being a kid, but it can be difficult for some. Tej Joshi shows us an indoor play facility that allows play for all abilities.
This beautiful space at a place called Capabilities. It's play for all abilities, and I want to show you what this place has to offer. One of the biggest things right here is the wheelchair swing. For kids in wheelchairs, it's a great way for them to have fun. And if you look around, this is a truly interactive place, an inclusive place where kids can learn a lot, have a lot of fun. And the big thing here is it's not just meant for kids with disabilities. This place is meant for all kids to enjoy. They can use the ball pits, the bouncy houses, and be together. I want to tell you a little bit of the story of the owners of this place right here. They are, in fact, in the big ball pit right here with their twin sons. One of them born with a physical disability, one of them not. And they said, hey, we want to find a place for our kids to interact and play together. They couldn't find a place, so they opened up this place back in November for their two kids to play together. And now it's open for lots of kids across the Miami Valley to enjoy and play together. I spoke to one of the owners just more about that story.
Seeing the kids here have a space, both our kids and even the others, it's fulfilling in a way that's hard to describe. It just kind of gives you the warm fuzzies. It just feels fulfilling.
Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, more rain making its way in, and we'll see even more showers heading their way through on Saturday. So soggy weather continues on. Now, this batch of rain heading its way in right now will bring maybe about 1/4 of an inch or so to the region, but heading into later into the day on Saturday, an additional maybe 1/4 of an inch or so with some higher totals to the southeast, and even a few snowflakes possible by early into the day on Sunday. Nothing too significant with accumulation, but we'll monitor that. Here's a look at the next 7 days. So showers late for our Saturday. Cloudy but quiet tomorrow and a little cooler, not quite as mild, but 48 degrees won't be terrible. And then we got some rain and snow Sunday as well as next Tuesday. And then it does look like perhaps Monday, maybe even Wednesday, we'll start to see some sunshine return.
This almost feels like early March. Like what type weather, you know what I mean? Kind of like that early spring.
Right.
Yeah.
Soggy.
Yeah. Dipping our toes in the warmer weather, but not really.
Yeah, don't let it fool you. We still got February.